Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Journey to Becoming series. Today we're going to be discussing why we need to be cautious of comparison and where we need to be fixing our eyes in order to conquer comparison. As I mentioned in part 1 of the series, I am not yet monetized on YouTube. I know, 3 years later and still not monetized. Anyway, in case you don't know, you can make money from uploading videos on YouTube. And this is on 2 conditions. The first condition, you have 1,000 subscribers. And condition 2 is that you have 4,000 watch hours over the last 365 days and not over your entire time on YouTube. And I haven't reached that yet. As I pursued this, as I was in the whole YouTube journey and as I was being a YouTuber, in if I can just say that, I realized at some point that this is going to be harder than I thought it would be. This is not going to be as easy as I expected, as easy as some people made it out to be. But I got to a place where I accepted that. I accepted that it's not going to be as easy and I'm okay with it. I still want to proceed. And I enjoyed myself. I was happy. I was very satisfied by the whole process, from planning the content, recording the content, seeing my husband edit the content, uploading it. You know, the whole thing was just so much fun, so fulfilling, so gratifying for me, right? And it stopped being gratifying when I started looking at other people's channels. I'd look at their subscriber counts and look back at mine. I'd look at their number of views and look back at mine. I'd look at their rate of engagement and look back at mine. I'd look at how long they've been here and look back at my own time. And when I did this whole comparison thing, that joy, that satisfaction, that gratification and happiness that I previously experienced was diminishing. It was really, really diminishing. And from this whole looking there and looking back at mine, I realized that I can now confidently say that the main enemy in our journey is comparison. Before we proceed, if you don't know me yet, I'm Katlego and would really appreciate it if you click the subscribe button to help me grow my YouTube community. And if you would please click the like button in order to just help YouTube spread this video to more people so that more people can hear this wholesome message. And leave your comments if you resonate with any of the things that I'm saying here, if you have a similar view or even a different view to what I am saying in this video. Anyway, let's proceed. So I know that I'm speaking here regarding comparison, but specifically to how I experienced it in my YouTube journey. But I think it's very safe to say that it is applicable in all other journeys as well, in the entire journey of life. Whatever you are doing, wherever you are focused, whatever gives you gratification, you know, whatever your pursuit, your unique destiny, your unique path looks like, comparison is still your main enemy. And I think before we can come up with solutions and how best to work around it, it's very key to first of all acknowledge it, to first of all admit that we are in the habit of comparing ourselves to others. And not only that, but we need to acknowledge what effect it has in our lives. And when we realize that it has a terrible effect, which it often does, if it doesn't have a terrible effect in your life, let me know in the comment section below. And so now we know that we have it, we know it's not positive for us, then we are able to say, we don't want this in our lives, and how can we avoid it, or how can we overcome it? Personally, the way that I have managed, I don't think I've mastered it yet, but the way I have managed to deal with, or the way I've managed to manage comparison in my life is by looking at myself, viewing myself as a young girl, a small little girl who's performing on stage. On this stage, I have other peers, other young girls, other young boys performing whatever play we are going to perform here. And there are other teachers, there are teachers on the stage as well. And in front of us, there's a big crowd, in the auditorium, in the hall, wherever we are performing, there are people. And on that side of it, in that crowd, there are peers, other young people who are not performing. There are teachers, other teachers who are not helping us on this side. There are parents to some of the peers, and there are even strangers. But as this little girl, I'm not very mindful of everyone else that is in the crowd, but I keep looking for one specific face. I keep looking for one set of eyes, my daddy's face, my daddy's eyes. And when I look at his eyes, this entire time I'm performing for him. I'm performing with the understanding that yes, he's looking, he's here, he's supporting me, he cares about my performance, he knows how hard I've been practicing, I've been telling him all about it, he knows everything about it. And I want to perform in such a way that I please him. I want to perform in such a way that he is happy with me, that he is proud of me. And when I get off the stage and I go sit with him and give him a hug, he says, "Well done, my baby girl." And by the way, I'm not referring here to my natural daddy, but my heavenly daddy, my heavenly father. That is how I look at it, right? And that is what gives me the peace. That is what gives me the courage and the ability to refrain from comparing myself. It's not easy, but that's kind of how I have now looked at my life as a YouTuber, my journey in YouTube, and my journey in life as a whole. It's, for me, a thing of, I am on the stage. That is YouTube, right? And on the stage, there are other YouTubers, there are teachers, people who have gone before us, who know more about YouTube, right? Who guide us and who we learn from. There are other people on the other side, on the other side of the camera, people who watch, and some of the people who watch are our peers. There are other YouTubers, they are our peers, my age mates, but who are not on YouTube. They are teachers, their parents, their strangers. There are so many people who are looking at me as I do this, whether it's people who watch or people in my family and friends, work, who know that I'm a YouTuber, people who may know me, people who may not know me, people who care, people who don't care. There are so many people on the other side of the stage who are looking on. But it's so important for me to not look at your various faces, but to always be looking for my daddy, to always looking for God, to always be asking myself, is God happy with me? Can I see God in all of this? Is God looking at me? What does God think? Am I performing for God? He should be the audience that I'm performing for all the time, right? It's not that you guys are not there, but the eyes that are important are God's eyes on me. The face that is important is God's face looking at me. The audience, the audience that matters most is God Almighty. As some people say it, we are performing for an audience of one. Although you're so many, God is the one that I should be saying, I'm talking, and is God hearing me? Is God happy with me? How is he going to mark me? Is he going to say, "Well done, my baby girl"? Is he going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant"? Or is he going to say something else? Right? Let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. When Jesus Christ said that the kingdom of heaven is like or is for little children, I think he meant a few things. One of which is that, as if we are to enter the kingdom of heaven, if we are to enjoy being part of this kingdom, we need to be like children, right? And although she can play with her friends, although she can play with her peers and, everyone and come across many people, she still cares about that one voice. She still cares about the voice of her father, right? And that's what I think. I think it's similar to that. We can listen to each other. We can get advice from each other. We can hear what our peers are saying, what our teachers are saying, what strangers. We can take on different people's inputs, right? But ultimately, the input that matters most, the input that supersedes all of them, is the input of our Heavenly Father. And that is how we need to live our lives, right? That is how we can overcome the enemy that is comparison. There are many other enemies on this journey, but the one we're speaking of today is that of comparison. And why it is so important to always fix our eyes on the Father, why it is so important to have the face of the Father in view in all the performances that we perform on this stage of life, why we need to have our eyes on his eyes, is that he's the one who made us. He's the one who gave us our destinies. He's the one who has made us in this unique way. In part one, we established that we are each unique, and we are unique for a purpose. We are unique to bring solutions, right, to different situations on this earth. And it is when we tap into this uniqueness that we are able to bring all the solutions that we are born to bring onto this earth. So it is the Father, it is this heavenly daddy that has made us, and that knows how he has made us, what he has made us for, what destiny we ultimately need to get to, what path we need to walk in order to get to that destination. He knows that we are going to encounter droughts along the way. We're going to encounter traffic along the way. We're going to encounter hills. We're going to encounter various challenges. But not only that, but he knows how best to navigate this path towards the destiny that he has made for us, and he has made us for. And not only that, he walks the path with us. He has made it clear that I will never leave you nor forsake you. In good times and in bad, he is there. In good times and in bad, he knows what the answers, the solutions, the directions, what GPS path we need to be taking. So it is so vitally important to fix our eyes on Jesus Christ, the author and the finisher of our faith, as we walk this walk, as we take this journey, and remembering and understanding that our journeys are unique to us. Our destinations are unique to us. And it might seem so, oh, how nice of you to say all of this, Katlego, but practically, it's not easy. Practically, it's not always easy to not look and not compare and just fix our eyes on Jesus. And how I have practically managed to do it is by squinting, like practically squinting, not literally like that, but like I said, we're looking in the crowd, and sometimes the light is on the stage and then the crowd is dark, so it's like squinting to find that face of our daddy, to find the eyes of our daddy. And practically for me, it's been in two ways. I have chosen to stop watching vlogs. I found that vlogs were not doing it for me. And I have nothing against vlogs. I used to do vlogs as well. But I found that I don't need them. Like, by not watching a vlog, like, really, what am I missing out on? And two, by watching them, I was putting unnecessary pressure on myself, because whether I liked it or not, I found myself comparing myself, my home, my family, my income, various things, my growth, to that of the person that I was watching without even understanding their path, without understanding their journey, without understanding their destination, without understanding their relationship with their daddy, who is all of our daddy. Although God is one and He's all our Father, but He has different paths for different people, right? So for me, that was one practical way of saying, you know what, I find myself constantly comparing myself to other people when I do this. So I'm going to refrain from watching. I'm going to refrain from consuming this content that heightens my level of comparison and diminishes my level of gratitude and contentment as I walk this journey towards God's destiny for my life. And I've also unfollowed certain people on Instagram because that, presented the similar kind of pressure, unnecessary pressure on my life. And someone might be watching and have two ways. And even for me, I also had the similar thoughts to say, one, it means you're jealous, like you're a jealous person. That's why you can't handle other people's success. That's why you can't handle other people's growth in life. And two, you are weak. Why can't you just watch and be strong and, be continue in contentment, continue in gratitude? And maybe I am jealous and maybe I am weak. And I find that I'd rather acknowledge the jealousy and the weakness and to act like I'm strong and to act like I can handle it, while in reality I can't. While in reality, the comparison is crushing. The comparison is hindering me. The comparison is taking away the gratitude and the contentment and the satisfaction that I previously had, or that I have when I do not consume this content. For me, it's like the verse where Jesus was like, if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off, And that sounds very extreme. And when we read it, it's like, oh, taking out your eye, cutting off your hand. That's a bit extreme, Jesus, is it not? And I think there's so many ways that we can do this practically, that we need to do this practically in our life, that will really save us from a lot of sin, that will save us from a lack of gratitude, from comparing, from complaining, from, jealousy even. And yeah, if you don't struggle with that, then that's okay. But that was my struggle, and that is the hand that I had to cut off. That is the eye that I needed to gouge out in order to stop sinning in this way, in order to stay fixing my eyes on Jesus as I do this YouTube journey, as I do this life journey. I think it's similar to an addict, right? A rehabilitated addict. Although he may know, or she may know, that she no longer has a craving for alcohol, I don't think it's necessary for her or for him to go to a bar and test it out, right? I think it's better to practice this better safe than sorry a policy in terms of certain things. It's better to just not do it. Why must you show yourself or show other people that you no longer crave for alcohol, that you can sit in a bar and not have a craving? You can sit in a bar for an hour and see all the alcohol around and only have a can of Coke. What benefit does it serve? Yes, you can do it and we care for you, whatever, but why, like, why should you even put yourself in that position? And that is what I have done for myself. Why go through this? So no more vlogs, no more checking out certain people's content and channels and that. And there's some channels that I still watch, like channels that help with YouTube growth and tips like that. And yeah, I gain a lot from that, but there's certain things that I just choose not to do, not to consume, because I see that it has heightened my level of comparison. And that is it for part 2 of my journey to becoming. I hope I've given you clarity and understanding that comparison is a very big enemy that we constantly need to be mindful of. And 2, fixing our eyes on Jesus is the number one solution to overcoming comparison, and that can look like cutting off certain things practically in order to overcome that. Join us for part 3 of my journey to becoming, where I let you know why I am comfortable with doing this whole YouTube thing even without the money. For now, please click the video on your screen now to watch a 3-minute video letting you know what you can learn from nature. Until next time, bye for now.